This afternoon's opponents, Montrose, are having a tricky season. A second campaign is always difficult in the top flight after promotion. It's been made a lot more threatening for them with league construction ahead. And after all the hard work invested in surviving in the top flight last season, they have a battle on their hands to keep afloat above that relegation line come the end of this campaign. They put in a couple of spirited performances this season against the likes of Rangers and Celtic, today's opponents. A previous game up at Links Park with 2 goals scored for Craig Ferroz's side, and they'll be looking to try and catch Celtic tired if possible after a couple of difficult losses. You can see a number of new starting names in the green and white hoops of Celtic, so let's have a look at the lineups. Celtic switch 5 from the Derby defeat to Rangers here last week. Lisa Rogers replaces Kelsey Doherty between the sticks. Luana Munoz, Colette Kavanagh and Mathilde and Senior Karstens come into the side, with Bruna, McGregor, Agnew all dropping out, and Natalie Ross too isn't in the squad. For Montrose, Craig Ferroz has a bit of selection difficulties on the trip down south this afternoon. Emergency on loan goalkeeper Rowena Armitage, who arrived from Hibs, starts. Georgia Carter, who's key in defence, is unavailable this afternoon. Erin Henderson takes her place. That's the 2 changes for the Mo. Celtic will be looking for a fast start and a sharp performance in the first half at home as they look to pick up an important 3 points. Montrose in their change colours this afternoon. With some final words, Jade McLaren, number 6 there, in good spirits ahead of kick-off, and she'll be a key leader in the side this afternoon, as she always is, and like every now and again can pop up with a spectacular goal or two. Delighted to say joining me this afternoon in commentaries, former leader of Rangers, captain and midfielder Claire Gemmell. Claire, these kick-offs late in a winter month with the cold weather we've had this weekend sometimes feel like they could be a bit tricky, but it's an easy target for Celtic this afternoon. They need to make up ground in the league table, and they're looking for 3 points as always this afternoon at home.
It's exactly as you say, Stuart. You know, they have to win today. It's so important for them. They cannot afford to lose points in this game, and you know, Elena Sudoku will be really expecting them to come out and try and close that goal difference down, because it's getting massive at the minute. I think Rangers have scored 70 goals and they're on 40 that they've scored, so it's such a big goal difference that they need to try and pull back.
London Pollard there, recently arriving back to Montrose where she played before, and of course a previous Celtic signing under former manager Fran Alonso. And she has quality. Anyone that's watched the Scottish Women's Premier League in recent years well aware of that, stretching back to her time at Forfar Farmington. Here's Jade McLaren, who was looking to latch onto the ball as the sleeves and Under Armour rolled up over the hands on a chilly afternoon. Celtic look to attack, well defended by Tally Robb. Celtic will set up for an early corner. That's where Clifford goes over to take. Set short, but there's a couple standing on the goal line. It's curved in and over the top of the net. Armitage happy to see that sail over the crossbar.
It's a disappointing corner from her point of view. I think she's got a great delivery on her. You know, early in the game you've got an opportunity to put a lot of pressure on the defence, and obviously the wind potentially get a factor, but you need to think about that when you're taking it. But yeah, I think it's disappointing corner for Celtic.
A shaky commentary position with that wind this afternoon, as Claire mentions. It'll be a tough one for the players to contest with. The cold conditions from yesterday, the snow, ice and water all cleared. So weather played havoc around the Saturday Scottish football card. Back into the action on this Sunday for the Scottish Women's Premier League sides. There's Caitlin Hayes recently returning to the side, Colette Kavanagh. Celtic looking to pick their moment. Slid in towards Gallagher. Celtic keep it moving. Hayes picks the pass. Cassie Cowper back for Armitage. Montrose in possession now. Erin Henderson looks long. London Pollard, the 22 there, and the pink is the most advanced. She has pace, she has power. She has a quality and a trickery about her when she gets the ball in those kind of areas. That position can be a lonely job for forwards, but it always seems to not matter to her.
I think you're right when you say that, Stuart. You know, she has got a lot of qualities, particularly she's got a lot of pace going in behind, but it has to be the right type of ball that they get to her to make it effective.
There is Craig Ferros, Montrose boss. He's done a terrific job in recent seasons, flying up the divisions to reach the top flight. He has lost a number of key players from his team, and experienced ones too. Tammy Harkin, Amy Ridgway, Charlotte Gammy, and they're players that provide goals too. Noonan tried to keep it alive. The referee blows the whistle and awards Montrose the throw-in. Claire Delworth, the former Heart of Midlothian defender, with the throw. Colette Kavanagh, just nudged by Jade McLaren. Celtic awarded the free kick. Shifted over for Caitlin Hayes. Molly Daniel was looking to run. Hayes trying to pierce it through. Gallagher picks up the loose ball. Kavanagh. Luana lifts high. Can't angle that to cause any danger.
Just like the start of this game, Celtic are just a little frantic, aren't they, in the ball? They're not really retaining it very well. I think it's just bad decision making even there. You know, she gets so much time. Just take the touch, set yourself and get a decent ball into the box. You've got Montrose pinned back. I think the wind's got a lot to do with that. You know, that Celtic are going to have a lot of possession, so you need to use it well.
Lawton heads on, but it will angle out for the Montrose throw-in. Taylor. Flick on from Pollard. Niamh Guthrie helps to McLaren. There's Robin in that centre-back position under a bit of pressure. Still finds Daniel. Lawton bursts onto it. Cowper steps up to tackle. Now Pollard. Guthrie has a look for some support. Driven in, Luana clears away. Montrose throw-in.
It's really great feet there by Pollard to get away from Hayes and get her down the line to get the cross into the box, and good recovery, as you said, by Luanan.
It's been encouraging for Craig Ferros and his players. Pollard trying to feed it back in towards Taylor. Here's Kavanagh under pressure. Lawton takes. Now Gallagher. Celtic looking to spot where the space is from the advancing Montrose players. Heavy for Hayes. Will she get there? No. Taylor. Daniel will press. McLaren doesn't let Gallagher settle, and Colette Kavanagh will zip it across towards Ashworth Clifford. Rob covering for Montrose. Lovely pass forward. Montrose will opt to keep possession, going all the way back to Armitage. That will invite the Celtic pressure now. Sets of players claim. Celtic move sharply. Gallagher slipping it through. It's just too far away from Mathilde Karstens. Making her 10th start of the season. Armitage grateful to get a hold of the ball.
It's really the intelligent play there by Gallagher, coming inside and then the reverse pass in to Carstens, as you said. It's just a wee bit too much on it again, probably not taking the wind into consideration, but just shows you what, you know, they can open up defences.
Montrose stay organised. The floodlights on inside New Douglas Park. Bob is strong defending up against Ashworth Clifford.
And it's really moments like that, you know, I understand, as I've mentioned a few times already about the wind, but you really need to take care, not put your team under pressure. Just, you know, there's no pressure on you taking that goal kick. You have to get it up the pitch and wide, so you're not putting your team under that type of pressure.
Every so often there's just a gust that does make it quite difficult for the flight of the ball. Armitage will try again, get some more distance on that. Collect Kavanagh, will loop it back towards Caitlin Hayes. Fires the pass through. Gallagher will have to chase. McLaren keeps an eye over the right shoulder. 8.5 minutes on the clock. Jade McLaren and her team will be quite happy with the way they've started.
I think they will. Celtic have not created too much at all against them. Again, you know, as I said, Montrose are having to battle coming into the wind. Why Celtic have not used it to their advantage and taken a couple of more shots? They've been in positions, they could have done it. Certainly it's exactly what I'd be doing, test the goalkeeper.
Here's Demi Taylor, the talented youngster, her 14th league appearance of the season. Daniel couldn't help it on. McLaren will sweep up. Just a moment of a lapse in concentration from Taylor. Will Celtic punish? Here's Gallagher. Takes the free kick, moves it quickly. Too quick for Lawton. Cowper gets her body in front. Lawton tries to get something on the ball and pokes it over for the goal kick.
I just think, you know, I don't really know what Gallagher's thinking there. Nobody's set to take that free kick. Just set and get the ball into the box. It just seems to be, over the last few games where I've watched Celtic, particularly domestically, they just seem to be doing it and making the wrong decisions, giving the ball away, turning it over. You know, Lawton is not in a position to receive that ball. Just put your foot on it and get it into the box.
Kelly Clark takes command. Luana will take for Celtic. Ashworth Clifford scans across. Carstens free. Not seen yet. And takes once more. Collect Kavanagh. Was tenacious in the middle for Celtic. On and off the ball. Zip through. Armitage sweeps it up. Amy Gallagher had made the run just onto the corner of the 6-yard area. That's where she's so dangerous. That kind of movement. Celtic patient as they hold. And Luana made the delicate pass through. It just looked to have a right amount of pace on it.
She just can't get her toe on the end of it. It's a good run, as you say, from her. In behind. Nobody knows where she is. Just can't get a toe to get it past the goalkeeper.
Armitage under pressure. Taylor gets it further away. Lawton for Gallagher. And she was aiming for the run. Saoirse Noonan just halted before advancing into the penalty area. Another big match for Rowena Armitage, the Scotland Youth International goalkeeper. Strong header on. Pollard takes that quick movement so she could run towards goal. Holly Daniel lifts over the top. Could Montrose get in behind here? The strike towards goal. Oh, it's a superb finish. Montrose catch Celtic out cold. A brilliant move. And it's Louise Brown. Such a big player, and that's her 5th goal of the season. What a strike. It's Celtic 0, Montrose 1.
It's a fantastic finish from her, isn't it? But again, it comes from the back. It's a much better kick out, gives her teammates something to attack. Then the ball drops into the midfield. It's a great ball over the top, and you know, she's so determined there that she's winning that ball first. She muscles her out the way, hits it first time. It's over the goalkeeper. There's no chance for her. Fantastic finish, and they'll be delighted with that start.
She scored against Celtic in the 4-2 game in September at Lynx Park. She adds another up against Elena Sadiku's side. And Celtic need to come from behind.
It's definitely a start that Elena Sadiku will not want. As I've said a wee second ago to you, Stuart, I just feel as if it's creeping into their game over the last few weeks. Just a bit of sloppiness. You know, there it is again, Caitlin Hayes. You see what she's trying to do, yeah, but you know, just keep the ball, movement shows about. Why not take somebody on? You know, they're very structured, they're sitting deep. Passing the ball in this wind is very difficult, and you need to get it pinpoint. They just need to come up with something else, because right now it's not good enough from them.
Celtic looking to reply. They won't manage it there. Montrose throw in. Montrose are always a threat. There's only one other side that scored 2 or more against Celtic this season than Craig Ferroz's team, and that was Rangers. And then if you flip that around, the only teams that have scored 2 or more against Rangers are Montrose and Celtic. So we know they've got that quality, they've got that ability in the forward areas. There'll be a game plan there from Montrose. And the way it all started with Pollard central, that quick pass to then get runners forward and try and catch out the Celtic defence, and that's exactly what Louise Brown did, but with a beautiful strike. And Lisa Rogers beaten.
I think, just as you say, Stuart, you know, it's something that they've definitely got in them is a goal or two. Just as you mentioned, the teams have managed to score against, but I think for them the challenge will be that they'll probably play a lot of this game without the ball, and can they keep themselves organised enough and prevent Celtic from getting any chances. But you know, passes like that they'll take all day.
Of course they are without Elena Sadiku in the technical area after a red card against Rangers here last Sunday. The 3-2 defeat. Milana getting her head to that one. Delworth's throw launched up the line. Pollard's flick on will help Montrose advance further. Delworth again gets the distance. Milana's flick takes it back to Kelly Clark. Lawton under pressure from McLaren. Both players battle wholeheartedly. Space for Luana. Kavanagh. Hayes points. Goes back the other way. Luana again. And Niamh Guthrie picked her moment, and she's one possession back for Montrose. Ashworth Clifford doing well to retreat. Delworth aims for Holly Daniel. Tough job up against Caitlin Hayes, as she so often does. Wriggles away with the ball and starts the move, and she'll continue forward. Emma Lawton. Senior Carstens. Kavanagh. Luana the option. Drilled through, but another with too much pace on it, and it just breaks down at that final pass into the penalty area once more for Celtic.
It does, just breaks down again, as you say, you know, straight pass under this wind. I keep mentioning that, they're just not taking that into consideration at all. But just a second ago, you mentioned Hayes pointing out wide, because actually she picks the ball up in the central area, and Lawton, instead of stretching it wider and trying to pull Montrose right out to the touchline, she's in the inside of the 18-yard box. They're already compact, it's already tight. You need to find ways to open them up, and they're just playing into Montrose's hands here.
Luana firing the pass in for Mathilde Karstens. Skips over Louise Brown. It's been a tough season for Craig Ferros and Montrose already. A couple of defeats against Spartans will be ones that linger, as they were so good at picking up points against the teams around about them in the table last season. It's been a bit of a different story with those two in particular against the Edinburgh club. A couple of 3-0 defeats. But there's always spirit within this Montrose team. They've shown that from the start this afternoon. Kavanagh delivering. The tricky one. And the strike cleared off the line by Cassie Cowper. Emma Lawton around. There just wasn't enough conviction to get it across the white paint before Cassie Cowper was there to clear.
She's doing her job so well in covering there. Yeah, she gets a bit of luck, it's straight at her, but she still needs to be there to clear it and doing exactly what she's there for her team.
Was that a moment that fires Celtic up? Oh, lovely bit of play through for Gallagher. Stopped by Armitage. Now Montrose feeling the heat. Hayes. Heavy touch, but she recovers. Luana. Out wide. Ashworth Clifford. That one charged down.
And I think, just as you mentioned as well, you know, the spirit that Montrose have got, I think you can see that even in these opening 18 minutes or so. You know, they're throwing themselves in front of everything. They're willing to get into any challenge. They're not giving anything up. And I think that's exactly what you need, particularly when you see about the results that they've had. You know, last season, managing to pick up results against the teams around them. This season, unfortunately for them, they've only managed to beat the teams that are currently below them. And it's something they'll need to be looking to change if they want to stay in this league.
Gallagher, the layoff. It's still there, and another chance, and Celtic level. Montrose are asking questions of the referee. Celtic with a muted celebration, back on level terms. Celtic won, Montrose won.
Just shows, doesn't it, how easily a game can change. You know, they're just as I said, throwing themselves on the line.
And Cassie Cowper was the one who felt there was a foul on her in the area as the sliding challenge came in. The referee had a look and wasn't interested in putting the whistle to his mouth, so Celtic finish up. Maybe not first time, but the second of asking. A lovely finish into the roof of the net, beating Armitage. What a game we have in our hands here in New Douglas Park. Only 20 minutes on the clock. It's 1-1.
I'm sure Celtic will just be glad that they've got one back here and they're on even terms. But yeah, as you said, a great finish. Personally, I didn't see anything wrong with what went on in the box there. I kind of agree with the referee, unless I've just missed something. I think the goal is fine to me, but we'll see if Celtic can lift it up a gear or two here.
Montrose battling Guthrie. Luana will retrieve on the far side. It's become a bit scrappy and it's favouring Celtic at the moment. Good recovery from the Montrose defence. Celtic corner.
It is good recovery from her, but it's moments like that that Montrose want to try and nullify as much as possible. If you're turning the ball over so easily like that under not a lot of pressure, you know, as I said before, they're already spending a lot of the game without the ball, so when they do have it, they need to try and take care of it.
Celtic looking to turn things around quickly here. Corners high. Headed into the air by Brown. Clark picks up. Charged down by Guthrie. Out of play for the Montrose throw. Celtic just pressured Montrose there in the penalty box to create the chance for Celtic's leveller. Just over the midway point of the first half. Montrose will still be happy with their start to this game though. The wind had died down a little and it just picks up again around the pitch. Good move by Senior Carstens. Now Kelly Clark out for Luana. McLaren there to swipe away. Luana looping it. Rob hooks over her head. Gallagher wins the ball. Senior Carstens. Pollard with a perfect challenge. Turns away and will drive forward now. She's caught herself in two minds there about continuing her passing. Now Celtic have possession.
Again, really good feet from her, managing to get away from a few Celtic players there, but just can't quite make it come 10th in the end.
Henderson. Montrose on the ball now. Delworth finding Brown. Kavanagh in the face of the Montrose midfielder. For Senior Carstens, 10th start of the season for Celtic. Here's Matilde. Gallagher. Will Lawton get there? Almost. As Gallagher tried to tuck it in towards the line.
It's the right idea again, isn't it? It's a good ball. She's picking up good areas in there, Gallagher. It's just the final ball's not quite right from her. She'll get it right eventually, I'm sure, but it'll certainly be easier in the second half for them as the ball holds up in the wind.
She's been one of Celtic's liveliest in this first half. Lawton for Senior Carstens. Back for Hayes. Throws it round for Lisa Rogers, the former Young Hearts goalkeeper. Moved in a swap with former Celtic stopper Rachel Johnston, going in the other direction. Delworth throws for Henderson. It's running out of space there. Ashworth Clifford takes for Celtic. Again, the right idea from Matilde Carstens, trying to find the forward once more. Quick thinking from Senior Carstens, but given away to the Montrose goal scorer Brown. Louise Brown continues, gets the crossover. Clark's touch. Does she prevent the corner? Montrose are claiming. Only Daniel will continue with the pressing. And Montrose have the throw.
It's great running by Brown. Just so determined to get into the corner and get the cross into the box.
Tally Robb breaks down. Montrose have the throw again, and it feels like Craig Ferrell's side actually made really good use of these throw-ins, and they're getting some distance to advance their position up the pitch, and that takes pressure off the defence.
It definitely does, and I'm sure the defence will take any moment to get a wee bit of respite there, but for me, I would like them to try and get Pollard involved more. I think anytime she's getting on the ball, she's trying to create something. You know, she's skipping away from Celtic players, so it's definitely important that they try and get her on the ball. But as I said, just at, you know, right at the start of the game, it has to be the right type of ball. You have to give her a chance to actually be able to get there.
Ashworth Clifford on the throw for Celtic. Luana. Ashworth Clifford. Worth happy to clear. And that will allow Montrose to reset. Give Celtic the opportunity to push. Noonan. Gallagher. Caitlin Hayes. Almost faked the strike and deceived their own teammate. Clark for Kavanagh now. Amy Gallagher. Amy Taylor finds Guthrie. Good hold up for Taylor to return. Fired off Lawton. And the battling from Emma Lawton wins it back for Celtic. Gallagher. Lawton. Twisting. Asks for some help. Wicked cross. Cowper can only clear behind. Celtic corner.
A good opportunity here for Ashworth Clifford to get the delivery right this time and get a good one into the box.
She'll place the ball with the corner flag blowing furiously just in front of her. Celtic applying pressure on the goalkeeper, so the referee's sounded the whistle and he wants to have a chat with a couple. Caitlin Hayes, I think, is the Celtic culprit. And Jade McLaren, I'm not quite surprised that those two have been called, Claire.
Not at all, but you know, obviously they know how dangerous Hayes is in the box, so they're probably trying anything to put her off. And as Hayes does Hayes, you know, she's doing everything as well to give herself the advantage.
I recommend keeping an eye on that one. Ashworth Clifford signals. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. Still alive. On off the line. Blocked again by Cowper. I'm not sure she knew too much about that one. She laughs it off. Our goalkeeper grateful. Incredible. And it remains 1-1.
It just shows, you know, the delivery with the wind that's almost creeping in under the bar, just strikes the top of the bar and then breaks. And as you said, Cassie Cowper, right place, right time. I don't think she knew a thing about that.
That one's low. McLaren clears away. Montrose throw. Let's have another look at that previous effort. Armitage scrambling after the crossbar shaking, and Cowper just turns her body. It was a powerful shot, so it was excellent work to keep it from crossing the goal line.
I think it's Hayes, isn't it? Just a snapshot, a lot of power behind it. Probably would have been a sore one, actually.
On a cold afternoon like this, definitely. Into the sky from Luana. David Haley there catching the ball, the Celtic assistant. Following the instructions from the technical area. It's not something that's unfamiliar to him. He's got longevity at Celtic and has been in the leading position quite a few times, shall we say. It's an important position this afternoon with the manager, the main head coach in the stands. Celtic will need that motivation from the technical area. Craig Ferros was in the stand for Montrose's match last time out in the league, and after being sent off against Rangers, and the coaching staff of the Mo saying it did have an impact on their recent loss. Rob clearing. Luana heads down. Louise Brown just gets the communication wrong with Henderson. Amy Gallagher for Celtic. Kavanagh back to Gallagher. Excellent work from Mathilde Karstens. Senior Karstens. Gallagher in that central number 10 position. Kavanagh is looking to keep it moving. What are the options? Good pass towards Noonan. Scrapped away by Tally Robb. Ball comes straight back up Montrose again.
I think that's the thing though, you know, Montrose are working very hard, you can't take that away from them at all, but when the Celtic midfield, in particular defence, are picking the ball up, everybody's standing in the line in front of them, there's not enough movement.
There's plenty around there to swarm Montrose to try and win the ball back for Celtic, but Rob will clear again. Erin Henderson now has 2 ahead. She'll give Pollard something to chase. Senior Karstens, Luana. A number of the Celtic starting lineup today have almost hit the 20 mark in appearances, a couple around about the 15-16. Luana Munoz is only making her 5th appearance of the season. She was signed a campaign ago in the summer. She was due to make her competitive Celtic debut against Montrose in last season's league opener, but a serious injury put a stop to that. She's been out quite a while, but tried to be part of things in last season's title win. She'll line up to defend this free kick. Henderson has it for Montrose. Out wide, across is high. Rogers keeping watch. Bounces over the line eventually.
I think she didn't actually quite realise how much space she had in the box there. Do you know that when it fell to her? I think she was quite, to be honest, I was quite surprised it went to her in behind, and she kind of turns back and goes out wide again, and then the cross doesn't come to anything at all, does it? But, you know, she could have maybe had a wee snapshot there had she been more aware of what was around her.
Ashworth Clifford searching for Noonan. Rob had to make a quick decision. Amy Taylor collects. It's good distance on it. Only finds Kelly Clark, the Celtic captain. Senior Karstens is strong. Still just that lapse of concentration from both teams.
Yeah, there is, and I was just going to say, I think Rob's actually having a good game. You know, I think she's keeping Noonan quite quiet, to be honest. She's not really getting onto the ball that much.
Gallagher delivers, Armitage collects. She got the Celtic equaliser, her 4th goal of the season, 25 in the league in the last campaign. And Gallagher coming up against different types of opposition this season. Celtic felt they should have had a free kick there. The referee allows play to go on. He's back for Rogers. Clark. Luana. The new Douglas Park surface glittering under the floodlights. Darkness completely falling. Players will shine towards the end of this first half. Celtic will want to go into the dressing room at half-time in front. We need another goal to do that. Montrose, you think, will be looking towards that break at the interval for some further instructions from Craig Ferros and just a bit of a breather from the pressure they've been under. Senior Karstens. Kavanagh. Caitlin Hayes. Noonan dropping. Can't link it up. A settled play from Jade McLaren. Now Demi Taylor. Can't angle that one to stay in field for London Pollard.
They're asking a lot over there, aren't they? I know it goes out the pitch, but some of the balls she's had up to her in the last couple of minutes, it's just, you're almost running for no reason, aren't you? She's never going to get on the end of them. It can be a thankless task up there yourself.
Montrose have done a very good job around the middle of the pitch and just into that forward area of not standing off Celtic, not giving them time to pick their pass and just applying a bit of pressure to the heels and the toes.
I think they have. I think they've been well organised today. I think they're working very hard, but on the flip side of that, I don't think Celtic are doing themselves any favours either. You know, everything they are doing, they're trying to play down the middle. I think they could, as I said earlier to you, I think they could stretch them a lot wider.
And Inslee off. Matilda Carstens couldn't make anything of it. Erin Henderson will trickle the ball upfield as it spins towards Luana. Cross from deep. Cowper and McLaren help clear. He's holding that very advanced position now for Celtic, almost in the midfield area. It's Carstens, back for Caitlin Hayes. Noonan has to wriggle away through. The return. Lovely play, it's Noonan! And it goes wide. The Celtic supporters in the stand opposite saw a net ripple, but it was the black one behind the goal and not the white netting. And the PA system plays the music too, but from our angle, Claire, that's wide.
That's definitely wide, it's not in. They definitely did think it was a goal, but to me, they're overplaying it. They just need to shoot. There's so many opportunities there. Somebody could have pulled the trigger. I think Hayes could have pulled it. I think Noonan could have pulled it earlier. They're almost trying to get the perfect goal. In these conditions, you don't know where it's going to go in the wind. Just shoot and test the goalkeeper. See what she's all about.
Clip by McLaren, and Celtic have the free kick. Hayes moves for Lawton. Celtic looking to get numbers on that right side. Matilda Carstens has green and white scattered across the box, but she can't turn to face. She'll use Kavanagh to keep it moving. Luana misplaces the short pass. Like Kavanagh retrieving. Well defended by Tally Robb. And heads down. Gallagher under pressure. Henderson did enough. Montrose can't keep the ball. It's all the way back to Lisa Rogers in the Celtic goal. Young goalkeeper finds Hayes. Do feel a bit more of an urgency around Celtic now. Just over 5 to play until half-time.
Celtic will certainly be desperate to go in here with another goal and be 2-1 up. They will not want to go in half-time at 1 each, because it just then gives Montrose that extra bit of belief coming into the second half, and they're still at 1-1.
Celtic have a free kick. Clark drills through. And it drops. It's high and over and wide from Saoirse Noonan.
It's unlucky from her, actually. You know, she gets the break of the ball here. She's watching it all the way. She probably catches it too well, doesn't she? And then it just goes over the bar. But, you know, at least they're trying something else, I think.
Noonan has been coming more and more into the game as the half progresses. That's a couple of chances now. She looks like she has the field to continue a terrific scoring record against Montrose.
Well, I think she scored a hat-trick, didn't she, in the last game against them, so she'll be wanting to replicate that if she can.
Scored a double in the League Cup too to add to that, so she seems to like playing against Craig Ferroz's side. 14 goals this season. There's a number of those that she'll enjoy playing against such a tricky forward to keep an eye on. Luana. Matilda Carstens keeps it in play. Henderson across. Celtic have the corner kick. Invitation now As usual for Hayes and Clark to come up and join the attack. Amy Gallagher to take. Luana's touch invites Guthrie to race away with the ball. Is there an option for a Montrose counter? Pollard just seemed to take her eye off it a little.
It's just unfortunate there, because again, the break of the ball, she's running well, running into the Celtic half, and again it's the final pass from them. When they scored a goal, but getting the pass right forward.
Maybe a chance here. Pollard just couldn't get the ball out of her feet. Montrose had a couple either side. Celtic let off with that one. Rogers launches. Bob battling with Noonan once again. Cowper in to challenge Gallagher. Senior Carstens has possession. Lucy Ashworth-Clifford. Celtic settle into shape once more. Gallagher. Luana. Push on Senior Carstens, quite clear to the referee. Celtic free kick. And again, they've taken it with too much pace. There's almost too much of an urgency at times.
I would agree with you. I think at times it's just they're playing it. It's almost as if they're panicking that they're run each at this point, instead of just understanding when the ball should go quickly, when it should be slowed down. And they're not doing that right now. I don't think they look in control at all, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen changes at half time.
Here's Guthrie. Montrose in behind again. She got there in front of Kelly Clark, but the Celtic captain doing enough to prevent any way through. Celtic goal kick.
It's good defending by Clark, doing enough there, but just shows the wee warning signs that Montrose, if they are getting the correct ball forward, they can cause you issues.
It's a good decision by Cassie Cowper at the start of that, because she had the ball bouncing up. She could have just hit it anywhere, but she settled it down to pass out wide towards Delworth's position, and that started the move. Montrose will continue to be encouraged with attempted passes like that, with Ollie Daniel nearly latching onto it. Celtic have it once more though. Amy Gallagher here. It's heavy for Matilde Carstens, but she'll get onto it. The lovely back heel for Hayes sends it over into the sky and behind into the stand from Cowper. Another Celtic corner late in the first half.
It's a great wee bit of play, isn't it? A wee flick there into Hayes, and she just throws herself at it to get it into the box. But certainly Montrose would have hoped to see that go up the pitch rather than out to defend this corner in the last minute or so.
Are them all just starting to think of that half-time whistle? Ashworth-Clifford is tucking in and set up for Gallagher. Blocked on its way through. McLaren helped back to her feet. Lucy Ashworth-Clifford in swinger, headed away. Gallagher again. Brown tries to get there and got a toe to it. Sends Celtic away for now. Senior Carstens. And then to add it on time at New Douglas Park. A goal apiece between Celtic and Montrose in the SWPL action. Carstens guided towards Kavanagh. Luana's out wide, spotted by the midfielder. And a look at the watch from the referee, and he blows the half-time whistle. Jade McLaren crouches down for Montrose there. That's just how much the Mo have put into this first half, and they took a shock lead on a tricky late trip down to Hamilton. Louise Brown latching on and beating Luana to the ball and looping a wonderful volley over the head of Lisa Rogers to spark the celebrations. It was scrappy, but Amy Gallagher didn't care as she roofed the ball into the top of the net from a very tight angle. And two familiar SWPL goal scorers have been in on the act in a first half that has been entertaining and Celtic's possession. They've only got the one goal to count for it. Montrose, they've picked their moments precisely, and they almost had another opportunity late in the first half. They have, though, had to defend resolutely, and a couple of goal line blocks from Cassie Cowper have prevented Celtic from scoring any more. Claire and I will take a short break for half time, but please join us again where there's a big second half to come at New Douglas Park in Hamilton. Half time in the SWPL is Celtic 1, Montrose 1. Welcome back to New Douglas Park, where in the SWPL at half time is currently Celtic 1, Montrose 1. Louise Brown giving the Mighty Mo the lead just around the quarter mark. A reply from Amy Gallagher from a sharp angle, furiously sending the ball into the roof of the net. And Celtic are trying to inject some more creativity into their side. Second half as Shannon McGregor replaces Senior Carstens. Shannon McGregor, the former Hibernian midfielder, recently called up to Pedro Martinez Lossa's Scotland squad for the upcoming Euros playoff against Finland. In her debut Easter Road, where she called home for such a long time, as did Amy Gallagher, another former Hibernian player, now wearing the green and white of Celtic. She was the goal scorer for Elena Sadiku's side in the first half to bring them back level. And there is the Celtic head coach suspended from the touchline this afternoon after a red card against Rangers. Probably some instructions getting typed into that phone. David Haley in the technical area is making the adjustments for Celtic throughout the game. And Montrose will be looking to start the second half in the same fashion as the first. Erin Henderson onto the ball. Colette Kavanagh goes down, and Celtic have the free kick. Claire Gemmell joins me in commentary. Claire, is it any surprise that Celtic have made that change at half time?
Certainly not. It's one I was expecting. I'm actually surprised there's maybe not a couple more. To be honest, I think they just need an injection or something. I don't think they've been great at all in the first half, particularly the fact, you know, they're the league winners from last season. You expect a certain degree of quality in their playing. I just think they're giving the ball away too much. It's suiting Montrose, actually, you know, how scrappy it's become. So they'll be looking for McGregor in there just to try and control the midfield a bit more and give them a bit more structure as they're attacking and defending.
Louise Brown just trying to breathe off a knock there. This is Montrose's second campaign in the top flight of the Scottish Power Women's Premier League. Craig Ferrars doing a fantastic job of bringing them through the divisions, then surviving last season. They're under threat here from Celtic as Matilde Carstens finds Ashworth Clifford. Claire Delworth is there and will clear out for the throw-in.
She gets herself into a good position there as well, and it's just, again, final ball's not right, and she does have a wicked delivery on her.
Matilde Carstens, 10th start of the season for her and Celtic. Emma Lawton. Shannon McGregor, the half-time sub, finds Caitlin Hayes out wide. The pass through. Gallagher lays back off for Hayes. McGregor can't get it into the box, and now Niamh Guthrie will race towards the ball. She just didn't know enough about the touch, the former Dundee United forward, making the move up north to Montrose. Former Scotland Youth International Niamh Guthrie, a lively forward who doesn't rest. Has an all-round ability to her attacking play. Here's Amy Gallagher, slipped towards Cersei Noonan, who strikes and goes wide. But we saw from the end of the first half that she had her shooting boots on, and she still has them on her feet for the second half, but couldn't find the target there.
It's good movement, and I did say in the first half that I felt the second half would suit them better, particularly the way they're trying to play and threading balls in into the box, and it holds up in the wind there. Noonan gets on the end of it, just can't get it on target.
A number of changes to the Celtic team from the title-winning campaign last season. A lot more to contend with in games, with the Champions League level part of their calendar this season. Sadiku does have that depth to her squad. She's shown that from the start of this one with the 5 changes. Natalie Rios not in the squad altogether. Montrose with some selection issues with players missing. Georgia Carter, a big part of the centre of their defence in the last couple of seasons. Tally Robb stepped in there, the number 21 for Montrose this afternoon, and has done a strong job beside Cassie Cowper. And he'll look to keep that up. Tiredness will play its part in such a small squad. The difference in levels between the teams as this second half rolls on. Cleared out by McLaren for the Celtic throw.
It's really good recovery tracking McGregor there. She's running into the box with a strike away and goal. She's having a good game, as you mentioned, Rob. I think McLaren's having a good game also.
Ashford Clifford delivers. Cleared away by Jade McLaren. As Claire mentioned, a bit further back this afternoon, and she naturally likes to coast forward for opportunities on goal. Henderson fills Mathilde Karstens. She doesn't think so. Celtic free kick, and this could be dangerous.
She doesn't seem too happy, does she? But I think it's the right call. I do think it's a free kick. Really good position here for a delivery into the box. I certainly think they'll probably be looking for the likes of Hayes or Clark in the end of this.
Will Celtic try and play this on top of the 6-yard area? Or is there a cut back on for a shooting position? Gallagher and Noonan there. Could either go for goal. The layoff. And it's stopped there by Cowper at the front post. The decision to have her on the goal line has paid off, not once, not twice, but 3 times already this afternoon.
I was just thinking that as well, Stuart. I was just thinking the ball just seems to find her no matter where she is in that goal line.
Ashford Clifford again. The touch! And Armitage can get down to smother. Spread herself across to that near post.
It's a run across the front, isn't it? And she just gets a little touch on it, just not quite enough power to beat the goalkeeper. But yeah, you see it here, just a wee delicate touch, and yeah, it's not enough power on it to beat the goalkeeper.
One of Mathilde Karsten's 2 goals this season was in the 7-0 League Cup win at Lynx Park in September. She looks to put Celtic in front for the first time this afternoon. It was Louise Brown there who gave Montrose the lead earlier. Remember, it's been a bumper day of SWPL action in the top flight. You could join Jane Lewis tomorrow from 7 PM on the BBC Scotland channel for all the goals and all the action. A lot more to come from this game as Ashford Clifford teases the ball in. McLaren there to clear away. Pollard trying to pick something up. Here's Shannon McGregor for Celtic. Gallagher, Kavanagh, Ashford Clifford, bearing down on Delworth. Kavanagh, opened up for Hayes. Luana slides it forward, important touch from Louise Brown. Celtic will have the ball. Just feels like you said, Claire, that it's working a bit more in Celtic's favour with the conditions at the moment.
I think so. I think certainly the fact that they're playing into the wind now, and the ball's just holding up for them a bit more, but still can't get that final ball correct.
Cowper there to clear. Oh, Celtic at the second opportunity. McGregor, Kavanagh, slid through. It runs over the white paint before Caitlin Hayes can get her foot to the ball. Lawton. The stories of the season in Scottish football, and has the free kick for Celtic. And if not happy with something happening further back, Celtic will have to retake.
Not sure why that was brought back there, didn't look anything, and maybe he just wasn't happy with where it was taken from.
McGregor through for Noonan. Runs into that pink Montrose wall. Now Pollard will look to pick up out wide. She can do it all on her own from these kind of positions. She has support arriving now. Good hold up play so far. Henderson whipped out for Daniel, and the flag is raised by the assistant on her side.
Pollard again, just with good feet coming inside, starting the attack off for them. Yeah, again, you know, she drifts offside, but it's probably going to run out anyway. You just see the problems that Celtic faced in the first half now happening to Montrose when they're playing that pass forward.
Good work by Kavanagh. Luana, Argentinian international, was captaining that Racing Club in Argentina before her move to Celtic. McLaren gives it straight. Cersei Noonan. Option out wide is Emma Lawton, former Partick Thistle player, up against Taylor, who sticks with her. Celtic throw.
Really good defending there by Taylor. You know, Lawton's got a lot of pace. If you let her away from you, she's difficult to catch. She stands up well, gets the toe on it, and lets her team set again.
The turn is wonderful. And Rob, solid with the defending. Still alive for Celtic. Hayes with pace. Gallagher, sliding challenge from Jade McLaren. Puts it behind for another Celtic corner.
She's just been everywhere all over that pitch, hasn't she, today? She's been some game for Montrose. I think she's been really key and, you know, just leading by example, actually, to be honest, in that team.
Celtic with so many forward here for the corner. Montrose have everyone back to defend. It's teasing. The header blocked on the line by Delworth and finished by Noonan. Celtic are in front. And it's Cersei Noonan's 15th goal of the season in all competitions. And it's exactly the start Celtic were looking for in the second half. Celtic 2, Montrose 1.
It's a great delivery in, and Noonan actually gets up there and wins a header. As you said, it just comes off Delworth on the line, and it falls to Noonan again, who makes no mistake this time and puts it into the net. Celtic will certainly be relieved that they're now a goal up on Montrose.
No way through first time, but persistence, and Celtic have their second and their first lead of the game. And that's now 6 goals in 3 meetings with Montrose for Cersei Noonan. Is there a Montrose reply? Oh, big save by Lisa Rogers. That was important. But Celtic just letting the concentration slip after scoring their second goal there. It presents the opportunity to Montrose.
It's great goalkeeping there by Rogers. She's off her line so quickly to just deny the space there, and she can't get it past her. But, you know, it's so important because, you know, it's not as if she's had a lot to do. Yes, she's lost that goal, but she's not really been involved that much in the game. So just to have that concentration to get out and prevent that shot from coming in at you, it's great. It's great goalkeeping.
Big moment from the former Hearts goalkeeper. It was a big moment for Holly Daniel. The young forward charging through, under 16, under 17 Scotland international. They couldn't add to her 2 goals in the league this season. And our Celtic about to hit on the counter. It's caress towards Lucy Ashworth-Clifford. Around Delworth. And at the back post, it's Cersei Noonan. And just like that, Celtic take command. And moments after grabbing her 15th goal of the season, Cersei Noonan has her 16th.
Again, it just shows you how a game can change. Montrose have a chance up the other side, don't convert it, and then Celtic get the break down the right-hand side of the pitch, and it starts from Noonan playing to Ashworth-Clifford. Then she returns the favour right on her head. She can't miss it. It's in the net. It's now 3-1. It's going to be so difficult for Montrose to come back from this.
There's an injury for Montrose, who have some concern and are ready to make a substitution. But it's those key moments in big matches that mean so much. And from a big save by Lisa Rogers at one end, Celtic go right up the other. The move started brilliantly with the ball whipped out wide. Ashworth Clifford delivering, and Noonan on the spot, unmarked, to head into the net.
Certainly been an improvement from this first half anyway. You know, I think McGregor has helped in there just to settle it down. I think the goals will certainly help. You probably see them relax a lot now that they do have that 2-goal lead, and they'll look to be kicking on and try and getting as many goals as they can from here.
Rachel Murphy comes on for Claire Delworth. You can see on the bench there, that's how much she's put into this match. It's been a lot of energy, a lot of desire, and some rigid planning and organisation for Montrose. And after the kind of first half that they were looking for, it's begun to collapse in the second, and Celtic look to make a few changes now too and try and really stamp their print on the second half. Claire, you did mention, as Montrose get us underway again, Celtic possibly, once they got a hold of that lead, having an eye on making up the goal difference in the table. And Montrose might have a part to play in that here as Pollard gets it out wide. Is there a chance? Hayes sticks with it and blocks. It's Rachel Murphy, well known from Glasgow City, was trying to create. Now Gallagher searching for Mathilde Karstens, just forced out wide, but numbers are arriving around the penalty area in green and white. Karstens holds. Luana aims for the back post. The header down, and in from Emma Lawton. Montrose beaten at the back again, and there's no celebration from the former Partick Thistle player. It is about making up the goals now, and Celtic feel there's more to be had.
It's a great finish again from the head. Lawton, she just wanted it more there. I didn't make her favourite, to be honest with you, but you know, if she's desperate to get on the end of that, she makes sure she does, and it's into the bottom corner. It's a great delivery in, but Celtic just turning the screw now. I think it had to come because the first half really wasn't good enough. They're looking a bit more like themselves now, and now they're bringing on 3 subs who I think will make an impact as well. McInerney,
Smith and Bruna all about to enter the field. That's Emma Lawton's 3rd goal of the season. The rise continues as she keeps on impressing. Naomi Gallagher, who was the forward to put Celtic back on level terms in the first half, is taken off. Luana on another appearance as she continues to build up her match sharpness. And Ashworth Clifford. And Celtic have had a lot of action recently. They've been contesting those midweek games in the UEFA Women's Champions League up against the likes of Twente, Real Madrid and Chelsea. And it's a moment with the depth that Elena Sadiku and David Haley have in the team to try and mix the minutes with a bit of rotation.
Definitely, I think it's so important. As you said, they've had a busy schedule, a lot of minutes. These players have been playing between cups, between the league, between the Champions League, so it is difficult to manage, but you know, it's exactly where you want to be as a top team. But I think for them, or certainly from Elena's point of view, this second half certainly seems to be getting better than the first half, and I think it's about the performance. Although you do have this busy schedule, you still do expect there to be a level of performance when you put any team out in that pitch. It doesn't matter if it's the players that normally start on the bench or if it's your first 11, whatever it is, you still expect a performance, and I think we're starting to see that now in the second half.
And for the players who didn't start in this game, they'll feel there's an opportunity to show why they think they should have. Craig Ferros will have a bit of anxiety about him over in the touchline, you feel. He won't want a hurtful result or a hurtful goal tally against his team for the performance that they put in the first half. Here's Jenny Smith for Celtic. Cersei Noonan was on a hat-trick. Straight to Cowper. Daniel under pressure from Bruna. Brown Gives it straight back into Celtic possession. Rolled over. And the shot towards goal is dipping. That's a strong save for Armitage. She had to slide her feet across, stretch the fingertips out to deny Maria McInerney.
She's certainly got a strike on her, doesn't she? She loves a shot from distance. I think it's the first one we've seen in the entire game. It's a great save though, gets herself across and tips it over.
The subs looking to get in on the scoring act for Celtic. Montrose ready to defend. McInerney thinking about the short option. It goes into the box. The header from Clark. It just spins away from that far post. Celtic have the beating of Montrose in the air in the penalty area at the moment.
They definitely do. They're just first to everything now. You just see that hunger that they seem to have back in their game. They're just looking to get on the end of everything, and they weren't far away with that one either.
Bruna. Clark. Now Hayes. Noonan will give the forward players something to chase. Cleared away by Demi Taylor. Lawton, the most recent Celtic goal scorer. Gives to McInerney. Back to Emma Lawton. Hits the byline. Smith retrieves. On the midway point of the second half, Kavanagh's forward run. Taken by Armitage. The referee just having a look at a challenge off the ball. It was a bit late from Guthrie, I think it was, in Kavanagh there. Celtic just getting that ball forward to try and break Montrose. Rob chasing, it's Kavanagh. Straight at Armitage. But they're getting the chances, Claire.
They are, and you can actually see the spaces between the defence and the midfield with Montrose now starting to open up. It's just, as we were speaking about in the first half, when you're playing so much without the ball, it's just so hard to keep it going for an entire 90 minutes, and that's just what happens. You get tired and spaces get bigger, and then Celtic, given that the fact that they've managed to score 3 goals in this half in quick succession, they're just playing with a lot more confidence. So Montrose are going to be up against it, I think, for the last 25 minutes.
It means players like Pollard and Brown are doing a bit more defending than the forward play, but might have a rare chance here. Pollard, nice spin on the ball. Daniel, trickery. She can hit them from here. It's Daniel, pushed away by Rogers, and it will spin behind for the Montrose corner.
She's done well there, because she's actually made that out of nothing at all. She's managed to just get it out her feet and get a shot away. And I don't know if Rogers sees it late, but it's almost like a delayed reaction down to it. But pushes it round, and they've got a good opportunity here with the corner, particularly with the wind coming in. If it was me, I'd be getting it right on top of the goalkeeper.
I wonder if Daniel was trying to use the surface there to just have the bounce, try and give Rogers the decision to make, but she got hands to it. McLaren heads down. Cowper stabs towards goal. It's Pollard. Blocked by Celtic. Jenny Smith looks to start a move. Is there a Celtic counter-attack? Noonan. Away from Cowper. Lawton firing forward. She's definitely got that running in her. But there was 3 in front that blocked her path through. And Armitage is happy to have the ball at her feet.
Again, just going from one side to the other so quickly. Montrose getting a break of the ball in the box, and it's getting blocked, and then up the other end for Celtic straight away. Some turn by Noonan, by the way. It's just, again, not the right pass into Lawton, is it?
Celtic have the free kick. Guthrie will get a telling off from the referee. But Celtic, the difference, it seems, there's a bit more confidence about them this half.
There is, absolutely. It's like watching a different team from that first half, because as we've said a lot throughout this game, particularly in the first half, it just really looked quite scrappy and really sluggish, and just not like them at all. I would say they look a lot more like themselves in this second half, and it just shows you what a bit of confidence can do.
Cowper clearing. Possibly a question around that trip to Stamford Bridge for Celtic. Has it just been some time needed to find their legs as a squad? Or possibly a telling off at half-time from the coaching staff?
Most likely a telling off at half-time, I would guess, because from, you know, just the way she presents, I don't think Elena would have been pretty happy with that performance at half-time, and she expects a lot more from her players. When you think about the way she speaks in interviews, you know, she definitely wouldn't have been happy with that. And I'm sure the players themselves know that it wasn't good enough and expected a better performance. So she certainly, I don't know how much happier she actually looks right now either.
I do feel a slighter bit inside. Looks to be feeling the cold a little bit. Camera crew doing a terrific job of finding her in the crowd in this one. She's not in her usual position in the technical area after the red card against Rangers last Sunday. Montrose have an issue here. Craig Ferros won't want to be without any further players to his squad, missing Georgia Carter this afternoon. Lauren Perry's a big miss too, the Northern Ireland international goalkeeper. Was injured earlier in the campaign, only a few performances for her so far. How difficult is it, Claire, for a manager in Craig Ferros' position, a team like Montrose? You're looking to make adjustments with a light squad midway through the season. What will be the options available to him, do you think?
I just think it's difficult, isn't it? I just think for them it's where they are geographically as well, and trying to attract players to them. It's just hard, particularly when, you know, players who are playing the game like to see themselves and try and get opportunities with bigger clubs. So it's trying to keep the players that you've got, I think, and trying to make something of that. And then they probably just feel as if every season they're starting again, but just with the turnover of players. So I do think it's difficult for Montrose, but you know, they can only do their best with what they've got.
Brought in some players for last season to complement the continuing performers from the SWPL 2 title win. But lost key experience for this season. An experience in the middle of the pitch in the forward areas in Ridgeway, Harking and Gammy. They do have a young team, Montrose, with the added experience of Cowper, McLaren too, still in a prime age. Louise Brown also. Can they reduce the deficit here through Cassie Cowper's free kick? It's towards Guthrie, but a bit of a difficult body position as she can watch the ball sail over her head.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for anybody to try and control that. I know it goes over her head, but you're probably looking to get more of a diagonal cross in there to give your teammates any chance of getting on the end of it.
McLaren does well to step up. Celtic made a substitution in that break where Erin Henderson was down receiving some medical treatment. Murphy Agnew taking the place of Mathilde Karstens. Hayes. Missed a couple of games sitting out against Glasgow City in the League Cup recently. Back into the side and will be a big part of Celtic's SWPL push. Here's Noonan. Celtic accept the throw-in. The wind picks up again in Hamilton. Twisting and turning. Armitage takes that one out of air.
That's what you want from your goalkeeper, just to come out, claim the ball. It just allows her team to get up the pitch. You know, she's doing well as possible, I think, with cross balls. I think some of the headers that Celtic have scored today from cross balls, it's been pinpoint onto the head of the Celtic player, so not much you can do with them.
Demi Taylor. Celtic supporters finding their voice again on a cold afternoon. McInerney threading through, Lawton on the run, the cutback, Noonan's there, off the post. Celtic still have it, McGregor, Jenny Smith. Both teams claim Montrose have the goal kick, but Cersei Noonan looking for a hat-trick, only denied by the woodwork.
Great play by Lawton down the right-hand side. I just love how much she plays with no fear when she gets onto the ball, just drives at players, she gets across her. Once she does that, there's no way that you can touch her, otherwise it's going to be a penalty. Cut back to Noonan, who does everything right, who just hits the post, unfortunately for her, because as we'd said before, she does like a goal against Montrose.
Looking for a second hat-trick against them this season. As Claire pointed out earlier, the first in the league, and here is Lawton again, looking to provide. Agnew's there! Oh, and did Armitage just get a touch to that, to send it around the post?
I think she does touch that. I think she gets her foot to it.
She knows another attack's about to come. Emma Lawton playing an important part down that right side and creating the Celtic attacks. There was a touch somewhere that sent the ball spinning behind. Corner delivered. Lawton around, Rob there too. Hooked behind for the Montrose goal kick.
Lawton just slips there at the last minute and can't get anything on it, but I think she's having such a good second half compared to the first. I don't think they were getting involved enough. I did mention the first half about trying to get her on the ball wider. They're now doing that in the second half, where I think she's making much more of an impact on the game.
Celtic have a free kick for a foul against Pollard. Well, looking to move quickly, and Jade McLaren will do her best to stop that from happening. Into the final quarter of the second half. Celtic 4, Montrose 1. It was the Mo who took the lead through Louise Brown. Amy Gallagher levelled 1-1 at half-time. Celtic have scored 3 in the second half. Noonan with a double, Emma Lawton with the 4th. And they're looking for more. Here's Holly Daniel, had a big chance earlier when the score was close at the start of the second half. Celtic punished. Here's Kavanagh. It's becoming difficult for Montrose to keep a hold of the ball. Jenny Smith, the Celtic sub, to another Murphy Agnew. Noonan, can she squeeze her way through? Armitage comes out to help. It's just wave after wave of Celtic attack at the moment, look.
It is, and Cowper just does enough there to put Noonan off and get the ball away. But as you said, it's just the intensity's been up a level or two for Celtic, and you can see that Montrose are now struggling to cope with that, and it just shows the importance of actually moving the ball quickly. For Celtic, it suits them so much in the space that they're finding because they're moving the ball quickly.
McGregor, Lawton. Away from Murky. Hayes. Sent as far away as possible by Montrose. Pollard will give chase. Bruna. Kavanagh. Cowper steps up. Guthrie takes away. Montrose possession. Pollard stretching to get it, and Hayes can see it back to Lisa Rogers.
She's just at full stretch there and just can't get it under control, and again it's just running away from her, and she's not got the pace there to catch up with it.
Louise Brown's sliding challenge. There's a bit of an issue here for Celtic. Agnew across to see if she can help Cersei Noonan.
I think it's maybe just the way she's landed there as she's went in for that tackle, but she's up anyway. Seems like she can continue.
Spoke about the job London Pollard's been doing in attack. Saoirse Noonan doing similar. She didn't find a lot of space and the movement wasn't the greatest from Celtic in the first half, but she's shown her intelligence in the second to try and pick her spots to get away from the pink jerseys.
She has, and 2 goals has gave her so much confidence in this second half. And as I've said, the fact that they're moving the ball quicker, they are finding better areas, better space, and it's creating space for other players. If the fact that they're moving the ball and get movement off the ball, I just think they look a lot better this second half than they did in the first. So whatever was said to them at half time has certainly worked, and I think the substitutes have had an impact as well.
The referee taking note of a few for Montrose. London Pollard going off, Niamh Guthrie another. Just scan around the touchline. New Douglas Park, you see Neela Murphy coming on, the number 7 there, and number 16 Flo Bruce. Craig Ferro's understanding the amount of effort his players have put into this and trying to freshen up the energy and the tired minds. There's still just over 10 minutes to play at New Douglas Park. Celtic are looking for more goals. Lawton drives over. Noonan wasn't too far away from it.
Some power on that cross, isn't it? You're going to have to go at something to get on the end of that, but again, as you say, just showing the intent. Every opportunity she's getting, she's just taking her player on and getting to the byline, getting the ball into the box. But also, as you said, Montrose taking the opportunity to make some substitutes. I think he's probably recognising that they are getting tired, the spaces are getting bigger, just trying to give them a bit of respite.
Noonan strike, caught by Armitage. Lawton again. Hasn't stopped in the second half. McEnany's cut back. And in there. And there is number 5. And there is the hat-trick for Saoirse Noonan. She's been unstoppable in this second half and adds again to her goal tally. The 17th goal she scored in all competitions this season. And it's Celtic 5, Montrose 1.
It's another fantastic goal. Good movement by the team down the right hand side again. That's where they seem to be certainly causing the most issues. And yeah, you could argue that Noonan gets a little bit of luck there, you know, but do you know what? She's in the right area. She's had a good second half, so she probably deserves her hat-trick.
That's now 8 goals in 3 meetings with Montrose. Codogoni, one of the subs thrown on by Craig Ferroz. Gives Montrose a chance with the throw in. We've seen 2 hat-tricks from Saoirse Noonan against Montrose this season. Each goal just sends the Celtic supporters a little bit louder. They want more from their players.
But I think this is where Celtic do need to keep the foot in the gas here. As I mentioned at the start of the game about the difference in goals between them and the top 2 certainly. So they certainly need to take all the opportunities they can get and just try and get as many goals in the net as they can, particularly when Montrose are getting tired in the game.
Some players about to head off in the international break with those 2 huge games for Pedro Martinez Losa and Scotland to come against Finland. Coverage across the BBC with the first on Friday. Celtic looking to go into that break on a high with momentum. But to find that winning feeling again will feel so good for the players. Here's Smith. Will be denied by the offside flag.
It's a shame actually, because it's probably the best piece of play that I've seen Celtic do in the entire game, in terms of starting from back to front through the middle and just the movement. Montrose couldn't get close to them at all, but Jenny Smith just found herself going offside. Yep, and that's it, comes to an end there, but it was a good bit of play from them.
Sure, Elena Sadiku won't want to be in that seat too often this season. I've seen her there at the end of the game last Sunday, up there for the full match this afternoon. She'll be desperate to get back into that technical area.
I think it must be difficult as a manager when you're sitting up there and you can't give any instruction to your player directly, when you're so used to being involved in the game at that level.
Brown, last sliding challenge. Cowper clears the pull back. The Celtic free kick is Fiang Newsfield. Over 5 minutes until the full-time whistle, plus whatever will be added on by the referee. Montrose set up to defend the free kick. Kelly Clark looking to get in on the goal-scoring act. Her only league goal last season was in the 9-0 win against Montrose in January. A pretty big one in the Champions League campaign last time too. Towards the back, his head's down, Clark's there trying to help it on. McLaren with the clearance, fed back in. Daniel sends it out wide. McInerney picks up. McGregor down by Hayes, and Noonan was just looking to ghost in beyond Cassie Cowper there. And Armitage showing a bit of the maturity and just smothering the ball and allowing our outfield players and defenders in front to get that extra bit of time to reset. Craig Ferroz will have to look on the positives of the first half and use that as something to spur his team on for the remainder of this campaign.
I think he will, I think he'll be saying to them, we can score against these big teams. I think they'll always know that it's going to be a difficult game coming to play the likes of Celtic, Rangers, Glasgow City, Hearts. There's so many teams that they're just going levels up, and it's difficult for them, but you need to take the positives. They've played 45 minutes and they've went in at half time with a draw. Yes, second half Celtic have upped the levels, but you would expect that from them.
You'll point to the fact that they've taken on a team that is contesting in the group stages of the Champions League. As we mentioned earlier, Montrose scored 2 against Rangers this season. Celtic the only other team to have managed that. Just like how Rangers and Montrose are the only domestic teams to have scored twice or more against Celtic this season. So the forward areas, the quality's there. As we also touched on, it's picking up points that they can take and denying the teams around about them at the bottom of the table. The team that Montrose are looking to chase in the short-term future is Aberdeen. Just 4 points ahead on the other side of that relegation line.
But I think that's the thing this season, isn't it? Just with the fact that 3 are going down, it's just an added pressure that's maybe not there every other season, and just so much pressure in these games for them.
Celtic in again, stopped by Armitage. Taylor clears away. She made some crucial saves to keep the score down, Rowena Armitage.
She has, I know she's lost 4 goals, but she has been there at key moments. I think the one about McInerney, and she gets across that one. There's been a few, she's been there to keep the score down this second half.
We'll let Celtic away with that pass because a mighty gust of wind just blew through New Douglas Park there, shaking the commentary booth and a couple of the flags behind the goal on the fence. Smith can strike from this distance and closes down the angle though. Louise Brown plays up the line. Superb strike to start the scoring this afternoon. Still big games to come for Celtic. Elena Sadiku speaking about the feeling of pride she had after the defeat at Stamford Bridge against the Chelsea side. An understatement to say I made such a solid start to their season as well. Montrose have the free kick. Montrose throw in. Just seconds away from the end of the game. Montrose will make another change. The wind whistles through once more. And the electronic board seems to have gone missing down between the two technical areas. Charlie Creamer coming on for Montrose to play out the final few minutes of this match. Former Celtic youngster, 4 years in the academy at the club. Celtic now have the throw. Spirit about Montrose in the first half. Celtic getting that confidence back in the second. Closer to the levels so many have come to expect from the players. Lawton heads forward. Out of play before McInerney can reach.
I certainly think Montrose will just be wanting the whistle to go now. It's been a hard 90 minutes for them. And as you said, you know, the second half has been better from Celtic, but probably still not at the heights that they can be either. But in the end, it is a convincing win. You know, first half, you wouldn't have thought so, but they've certainly come out and rectified that in the second half.
And there is the full-time whistle. It's a big 3 points for Celtic as they return to winning ways. They had a scare in this one though, as Montrose took an early lead. But 3 points for Elena Sadiku's side. 3 goals for Saoirse Noonan. Another hat-trick against Montrose this season. These are the second half goals. One attempt didn't go across the line, the second did from Noonan. Clifford delivering, and Noonan was there all alone at the back post to head in. Luana with the cross. And it was Emma Lawton gambling to nod in past Armitage. And then hat-trick complete as Saoirse Noonan managed to spin the ball into the back of the net. And it's a victory that means Celtic move up to 4th in the SWPL table as they start their steps towards reaching the top and going up against leaders Glasgow City.